Have you ever considered the fact that the spec you're actually looking for may not be what you need? Have you ever considered the fact that you are having so many heartbreak? It's because you are focused on one particular set and you think that this is what is best for you. Most times the spec that we define as what we need or the kind of persons we should accept to date are not really what we need. For most persons, it is slim ladies. For others, it is chubby ladies. And then over time, you have been dating chubby, you have been dating slim ladies, but then all to no avail. Don't you think you should try the opposite? Most times, I think the problem is not really about the slimness or the chubbiness. So you actually have to try the opposite at some point. Because the society we live in right now, everybody seems to have a spec. We already have a defined, perfect definition of the kind of partners we want. For most ladies, it must be a dark man. For most ladies, it may be a fair person. For some, it can be anyone. And then they say it has to be tall. What if the person that is destined for you is actually short? Yeah, I know some will say no, God forbid. But then it's a reality that we tend to overlook most times. Because most at times, if you have observed that some of the persons who actually show you the kind of care you crave for come in the bodies of what you see as not being your spec. I believe you have experienced that on one or two occasions. So don't you actually think that what you want may be very, very different from what you actually need? And I think your need should supersede what you want. So at some point in your life, you actually have to sit yourself down and ask yourself, is this spec I'm chasing actually what I need or just what I want? Because most times we make these definitions not because of compatibility, but because of what we want to show out there. My man is masculine, my man is fair, my man is dark, he has dark teeth, he must have abs and all that. My lady must have ass, she must be bountifully blessed and all that. But then at the end of the day, you see that where you are getting what actually matters is not in people who have those kind of body sets. So why don't you sit yourself down and differentiate your want from your need? Because this may be the problem. How many relationships have you been into? And if you can check some of these relationships, what actually even ruined them is not something tangible. So have you ever wondered to ask, is the problem my spec? And are you the spec of your spec? Some of these questions are things we tend to ask ourselves. Because believe it or not, this is a very controversial something. Yes, you may say, yes, I cannot be with someone I'm not physically attracted to. But then you may be surprised that why you think you are not physically attracted to that person is because you have conditioned your mind that it must be a slim lady, it must be a chubby lady, it must be a fair guy, it must be a dark guy, or because of what you have heard on socials. Because most times some persons will tell you fair ladies, beautiful ladies, all of them, they cannot stay with one partner. Fair guys are players, this are that, and so on and so forth. And because of that, we raise our definitions of the kind of partners we need based on these examples. So most times it's not really about what you need, but because of the perspective of what you have seen, especially from the society. So today, as we have heard it, ask yourself, are you your spec? And the spec that you have defined, the kind of person you have defined that you are looking for, is it actually what you need or what you want? See you in my next video.